Okay, that was Reno Ride, and let's get started on it. We're going to start from this G position here at your 7th and 9th fret. And it starts a lot like I Know You're Married. I Know You're Married starts like this. Well, Reno Ride starts like this. So it's almost the same thing, just a little different varying of the brush strokes. But it starts like this from this position. You slide into this G7th position. Okay. Now, when I go to this G7th position, Don's original recording, he did sort of a little bounce like that. And all I'm doing is hitting it and releasing it, kind of like a vamp. Alright, and later versions, Don just started right off with a continuous strum. So you can, do different versions of that. You don't have to just stick with what I'm showing you. It's whatever you feel at the time you would like to do. So you can do either one of those. And it comes back. All you're doing is, it's almost like I Know You're Married, the end of I Know You're Married break, where you go. Alright, we're using that same thing here. We're walking from this 7th position back to this G chord. So, but instead of doing the G chord, we're going to slide into that G to C walk down that we went over before. So, okay. Then it goes to C, and we're going to be working off of the barred C position. And this is basically part of the standard walk up that we showed you in the Reno roadmap section. And it goes like this. Okay, if you remember from the workshop, it goes. Okay, and basically it's the same thing. We're just flatting some notes and pulling off out of those same positions to get the melody that we want. So it goes like this. I'll do that again. I'll do it a little slower. Okay, and what I'm doing there is I'm doing a double stop pull off. It's 2 strings I'm brushing and pulling off of. Alright, now this is the same lick that Don uses in 5/8 when it goes to the B chord. So, alright, so that's what we're doing. We're pulling off. Alright, and then it goes to G chord. And we can do the Love Please Come Home or the Chuck Berry lick that we showed you. Alright, so. Alright, and then at this point the song goes to D. And we're in the D position. This is basically what we're doing. We're using these 2 notes out of the D chord. And you can single string it 1, 2, 3, or you can just slide into it. So let's do that whole part there. Hitting those notes twice there. Okay, Don used this lick quite a bit. I believe he does this in Double Banjo Blues too. It goes like this. Let's see, we're in D first, but this is a G lick actually when it comes out of D. Alright, so let's do that again. let me play the whole first part so you can see how all this goes together. To a G7th. Let's do a little roll there. Then it goes to C chord. And you can do a number of things here. A lot of different things. Just, you know, do something in C right there and grab that C7th. If I remember correctly, I think Don's original version, he went something like that. But after the C there, you're going to slide into this A chord that we showed you earlier in the chord section. And remember to leave that B string open. There's only 2 notes being mashed here. It's part of your A chord here, but you're just leaving the B string open. And you're going to slide into a D chord here. Alright, let's try this from the G7. Let's see. Alright, and at this point you go from a D chord to a C7. If you can see that. I'll try to get my fingers out of the way. So, from this D to a C7 chord, it's actually an F7 position, but another thing about this particular chord, or actually the roll I'm using here, Don would sometimes hit the 3rd string and then hit the 1st string and then roll forward. So, alright. And then I'm going to catch part of this G7th chord. So that's a regular G chord. This is a G7th. Especially, it's a D7th position, but... And I'm only going to catch the middle 2 strings of that chord. So, and that's the 7th note. If you've ever heard Johnny Be Good, that's part of the guitar riff in there. Like that. But I'm catching these 2 notes. It's a D note and a 7th note. And basically I'm just going to walk this back to this F position, G. Alright, so like I said, it's part of this G7 chord, but it's actually, you know, the same 2 notes I'm hitting here as far as position wise. So I'm hammering on, hammering on from the 3rd to the 4th. Then I'm hitting it open. Okay, and then we go to an A, and this is again where Don doubles up on his thumb work. He does the roll like this. So he's hitting the thumb, he's hitting the 4th string with the thumb, and then hitting the 3rd string with the thumb. So. Dixie breakdown roll comes in there again. So okay, so that's one time through. I'll play it again slow for you, and then we'll get to the second break. Now the second break I did is what Don did in the original version, where he did a double roll instead of brushing. So and as before, when I showed you these little chord positions, you can just do different things. Just use your imagination and do what comes natural to you. If you can hear it in your head, you can pull it off there. So alright, and this time during the C, we're going to come up here and we're going to pull off from your 8th fret double stops to the 7th. And basically all I'm doing is I'm pulling off of the 7th notes, like if you're going to do a C7 like we did earlier, these two notes. And this time I'm doing it with these two fingers. I'm pinching this and I'm hitting the 5th as well to give a little rhythm to it. And then I'm coming back here and doing the same thing during the G part. There's that position again. So I'll play that part for you again. Then it goes to C again. And again, you know, don't bind yourself to exactly what I'm doing. Even me showing you now, I'm not doing exactly what I did when I played it earlier. So I don't really remember an exact break because I just play off the top of my head. So whatever comes to me at the time is how I play. I don't have a set way of playing anything. So that's the way Don did it. Don never played the same thing twice. So just use your imagination and play how you feel, but these are some of the positions he used on it. So, and then it goes to C. Alright, and all I'm doing is I'm hammering on to that C7th, and I'm keeping this down, this part of the C chord down on the 1st fret. Ever popular pull off there that Don does all the time on the 4th string. And this particular, that lick there, Don uses that in a lot of things. If you're playing the boogie in D or something, so you can use that. And then I did a single string lick that Don always does. We went over this as well. Okay, that's the A chord. Alright, then we did the descending D lick. And then I went to C chord. And Don used this particular lick that I did in later versions, where it's the same bar position that we actually started with. Okay, and it's a C7. But what I'm doing here is I'm barring all the way across the 3rd fret, and I'm hammering on onto the 5th on the 2nd string. So you can use any number of combinations here. You can pinch the 3rd and 1st. So I'm pinching the 3rd and the 1st first, and then I'm pinching the 2nd and the 3rd after that. And you can do that anywhere on the neck as well. You can actually pull off too, like that. So, all right, or you've heard Don do that too. Don also does this pull off lick in Coffee Cup. If you've ever heard a Song for Everyone album, that's 5/8 is on actually. He does this. But after we come out of the C here, here's another interesting lick that Don used. Don used this in a lot of tunes, especially in his the 60s and 70s. And it's a little bit like the descending D lick, because what we're going to do is we're going to... Alright. Alright, now I'm sure you've heard Don do that a lot. And it's really tough because it requires some quick single string work. And you can actually hit that last note open. Okay, but anytime you want to put this lick somewhere else on the neck, you need to hit this note instead of an open note, because you may be in D or A or like that. But you can hit the open G here because it's the same note. So let's see, let's start from the C. And then we're going to go back to the A where you do the double thumb work. Like that. And that's a really good ending. I use that ending on a lot of things. And it was basically the same thing we did the first time as far as the A and the D. Alright, and all I'm doing there is I'm just walking up using that partial F chord, or actually F position, but you're going to be playing in G. And Don used this position a lot in a lot of tunes, as well as double banjo blues and things like that. So that was Reno Ride. Give it a try. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.